Hi there, it's Beauty Junkie. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be swatching Sydney Grace shadows, and we're going to get into the Summer Days palette plus a few of her individual pressed pigment eyeshadows. So let's get into it. Let me just say straight off, let me apologize for my lip. It's busted. I bit my lip, and it's one of those things where I kind of I don't know, was just kind of overdid it. I think I was just playing with it and I bit down because I already had like a split, and then now it looks crazy. It's just taking a while to heal as well, so it looks worse than it actually is. So I'm not going to be doing any makeup today on my face just because I don't want to mess with everything that's going on here. So yeah, I have just received my order today from Sydney Grace that I placed, I believe it was last Thursday or Friday, whatever the day was that you could get the Summer Days palette for free. It was on the 16th of July. And now it is Tuesday, the 21st. I believe I received my first order the first day of the sale sooner, but there was a weekend in between, so that's probably why. So I'm going to show you the Summer Days palette first, and it comes in very similar packaging to the Chase Your Dreams palette. Comes with this sleeve, and it's just a, you know, smooth, kind of glittery cardboard packaging. The names are on the inside, so you don't have to guess what colors you're playing with. And just so you know, with any of the palettes, you cannot get these individually. You can only get these shades in the palette. So this is a neutral palette, kind of your basic Betty palette. But I think this has some exciting shimmers in here and some different tones of neutral mattes. This looks like it's kind of a satin, not quite flat matte, blood orange. But let's go ahead and do some swatching. Palette came in good condition, no problems here. But a lot of you, this is going to be probably a skip, but because I got it for free, I didn't mind getting a neutral palette. Chase Your Dreams is definitely more of a richer toned palette and a little bit more exciting. So I think these two palettes are actually going to be paired pretty well together. Some of the reviews I watched said that this is not a standalone palette. I think it can be, but I think a lot of you are going to be more comfortable putting some of these colors together for really a full look. But yeah, so these are both $33 each. So I got this for free and this one. And on this order, in order to get this guy for free, I spent $62 in single eyeshadows, and I bought 11 shadows to get this for free. So I got a lot more product than my first order if you want to check out that video. And that's because the multi-chromes are more expensive. So this time I didn't get any multi-chromes and was able to get a few more eyeshadows. So swatches, we're going to start at the top, left to right, and then go down. So let's go with Basque. This feels a little bit dry, but is a really pretty gold. Probably better for darker skin tones, but I think this is also going to look pretty on a lighter skin tone as well. A little bit dry formula. Sandcastle is a matte, and just a kind of a light chocolate milk, I'll call it. Break of Day is a warmer color. also a matte, kind of a more chocolatey milk chocolate. Daystar, bit of a cooler tone, kind of a pink neutral. I like that shade a lot. Beach Days, just a different tone of brown, a little bit deeper. Cherry Picking, try that again. Cherry Picking. This is probably the deepest shade in the palette. You can see that there. Then we're getting into a different sort of shade that's not brown. This is Blood Orange, and this is sort of that satin shade, not fully matte. So that's Blood Orange right there. Then our last two shades, we have S'mores. Whoop. Got a little bit of flaking happening there. This is S'mores. This is a deep sort of shimmer. Just want to smooth this out a little bit. There we go. Nice, pretty kind of bronze, very warm toned. And then our last shade, we have Camping. And this is like a deeper bronze, more orangey toned. And that is it for the Summer Days palette. I have to say I'm a little bit disappointed with some of these swatches. I think the deeper tones were a little bit not as easy to swatch. The shimmer shades swatched fine, including this one. I would like maybe a little bit of lighter tones, and this was the light toned Summer Days palette. There was also a dark toned option, and you know, these will show up on me, but I would like maybe something more in this realm, this sort of mid-toned color range instead of some of these deeper ones. I don't know. That's just me. I don't really I mean, I get this is a neutral palette. I don't know why it's called Summer Days. It doesn't make me think of summer. Usually summer, I think more warm toned or even colors or pastels. I don't know. Everyone has a different connotation when it comes to summer. But this on my arm looks a little bit more fall to me. I don't know why, maybe because it's a lot of warm tones. And then a color like this and this just makes me think of fall in this one. But it's not bad. I will like to, in a future video, play with this on my eyes. I feel like when I was feeling them in the pan, these were a bit drier, and I'm not sure why. I didn't get that impression when I was swatching the mattes in here, but there's not as many mattes. There's more shimmery shades in this one. Ooh, I got a lot of gold on here. So yeah, this is the swatches for Summer Days. Let me know what your guys' thoughts when you guys see these swatches. Are you impressed? Are you excited? Do you think, just another neutral palette? I'm fine with it. Again, I like to see how it performs. Considering like this outside doesn't quite match the inside, like maybe the shade matches the outside, but it's called Camping. Like, this isn't called Camping palette. I don't know. Maybe that wasn't a good name choice for the palette, but it is pretty. I could see traveling with this because you could get a lot of neutral looks with it. Oh boy. So I don't know if what happened to my Chase Your Dreams palette, but I just noticed some bubbling that wasn't there before. Not sure why that happened, if it sat in the sun or something, or it's too hot in my apartment, but it's already coming unglued after a week of having it. This one looks perfectly fine, and this one arrived fine, so not sure what's going on with those palettes. You know, not the best sort of quality there in terms of the packaging holding up, it seems like. Seems a little bit odd. If any of you guys have the Chase Your Dreams or Summer Days palette, and have you noticed any bubbling on the packaging, please comment below. I think it's probably something that could easily happen, but I am surprised by it since I haven't had it that long. Do I think these are worth $33? I'll just say I'm glad I got them for free. I think I like this one more, just because it's more exciting, and I enjoyed the swatches more than this one. Do I think it's worth $33? I think if you were to buy these individually, you'd be spending more, so it is worth it. I mean, you're getting these at a deal. I don't know the pan size, so I can't say you're getting an equivalent amount. I'm assuming you're getting less product in here, and it just visually it looks like less. But is this like you must have it? No. I think a lot of people probably already have similar shades to this. But it is nice. This one, a lot of you probably already have a neutral palette. If you don't, I'm not sure this is going to be your favorite. Even if you have a lighter skin tone, I just felt like some of these may be a little too dark, actually. It just depends what you're going for. If you want a rich look, you're going to get it with this in just neutral form. So they are pigmented, I will say that. All right, on to the single shadow swatching. Very exciting. So I have exceeded the space in my Sydney Grace dedicated magnetic palette. So I had to actually take some shades out to be able to show you everything. But I will like do a little pan over with my camera of which ones I had to kick out just for this video. And I might have to buy another empty palette. I should have bought one with this order, to be honest. Oh well. So I want to show you which ones I bought in this order and which ones I bought in my first order. So these guys here I bought in my first order, and it's not that many, but this costs $55 or $57, and these two are $15 a piece. These are the multi-chromes. So that's what I got in the first order, and I got this guy for free. My second order consists of these guys here in the middle and no multi-chromes, so I was able to get a lot more shades, and I was able to get this palette. These are some older shades that I bought last year, and I had to kick out some of the rest of my older shades so I could fit everything on this video. So today we're going to be swatching the middle group here, and there is some new shades to Sydney Grace that I wanted to point out first. So this is Paris. This is a new one, and I will go ahead and swatch it for you. And I just used my wrong finger because I'm going to put it on the other arm. This is Paris. Kind of a brown shade, but pretty. When I look at it in this direction, it's a bit orange, a bit tan. Actually, kind of in between those two shades there, and would work well with this palette. So that's Paris. Alright, the new shades from Sydney Grace, released just recently. Mom Ride, Paris, Ballet. I didn't buy every single new shade, but those are some of them. The rest of these are not new. So I already swatched Paris. We're going to go into Ballet. I just want to say everything arrived pretty well. I will say that Sydney Grace tends to over pour, So you'll get one side where it's a little bit puffy, and sometimes there can be issues with that. So Ballet is really pretty. Definitely a nice pink tone shift. Really like that one. Then we have Go For It. Not new, but I believe it's one of their best sellers. Very interesting kind of mauvey purple shift happening there. These go really nice together. Then we have Peace, which is this guy right here. Kind of a taupe shade. Another bestseller. Ooh. It's kind of a cooler toned, shimmery brown. Very pretty. Do like that one. You cannot go wrong with a Sydney Gray colorful shimmer, in my opinion. They're mattes. Some people say they're okay, and I have to agree. They're not the best formula, but they're pretty good for the price. Cadet is another shimmery one. It's a bit green toned. Ooh, that is definitely interesting in a different color there. Kind of a army green. That is super pretty. I love a good green, so that fits well into my color family that I enjoy wearing. Just a couple more satin slash duochrome shades to show you before I get into the mattes. Now this is a really interesting shade. This is Forbidden Love, a pink, sort of satin, somewhat shimmery, but not. This reminds me a lot of, not necessarily the Divine Rose 2 Pat McGrath pink shade, sort of, or the Pat McGrath Levian Rose pink shade, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Kind of in that same color family, kind of a hot, warm pink. Let's go ahead and swatch. I'd say it's a kind of a hybrid between those two Pat McGrath shades. It's not quite as shimmery as the Divine Rose 2 one, but it's not quite as matte as the Levian Rose one. It's kind of in between. Its swatch is really nice, so I'm excited to use this one. I mean, this shade is $6, so it beats Pat's prices for sure. If you're looking for a dupe, I don't know what it looks like on the eyes though. And then my last shade is a duochrome, and this is Red Mist, and it's a white shade that shifts to, I don't want to say red, I'm going to say pink. Yeah, definitely a pink shift. And I have two other white shade duochrome shades from Sydney Grace. One that shifts kind of purpley, and then the other one that shifts green. So this is the pinker version. It's not like the best one, but it's pretty nice for the price. All right, let's get into the mattes. I wanted to get some different color brown mattes to add to my collection, and these are more cool toned, I would say. We'll see how they swatch. This is Eastern Rise, and the mattes, I think, you know, not super buttery, don't swatch super perfectly, but more of a cooler tone, deeper brown there. And then I have Predictable. Now this is an interesting color. It sort of looks like a reddish brown, but on camera it looks more pink. So interesting shade here. Ooh, that is a pretty sort of pink tone brown. Very nice. It actually reminds me again of another Pat McGrath shade. I believe it's in the Divine Rose 1 palette. Very close. And then the last matte I have is a purple or mauve. It's Regal. On camera it looks very purple. When I look at it in person it's kind of more mauvey. I don't know. It's kind of a weird color. But this is Regal. Ooh. Let's try a different finger because the pinky, pretty shade, little trouble swatching, but definitely a different sort of pretty pastel shade there. Alright, so these are all the swatches from my latest order from Sydney Grace. You get a lot of eyeshadows, I think, for $60 some. Are they going to be your favorites? I'm not sure. I think it depends on how picky you are. I think if you're super picky, you're not going to love the mattes. But I think if you're modestly, reasonable, you're going to love the shimmers. And again, these are not super expensive shades. These are like $5 or $6. The mattes are usually $5. Shimmers are usually $6. So you can see what we got going on there. If you guys are interested in seeing any shades on my face, let me know. And I'm just going to pan down so you can see the rest of my collection all together. Alright, so here is my recent purchases in the Christmas and July sale. These are all the singles. And if you're on the fence about the mattes, purchasing any mattes, I totally get it. I wouldn't be as hesitant to buy the shimmers. I think their quality is pretty good. And then the multi-chromes here are really nice. So these are the multi-chromes if you guys are interested up close. And then the other multi-chrome they have is up here. Definitely recommend those. Are they like the smoothest, best formula of multi-chromes ever? No, but they're pretty dang good. And they're not as expensive. They're $15. A lot of other companies are at least $20, so you save a little bit of money there. So this is my previous purchase from last year's 2019 Christmas and July sale. And these are the other sort of duochrome white shades that I have. This is sort of the purple toned one. This is the green one. And then this is the red sort of pinky shift one. So that is some of the order. And then what I couldn't really fit into the palette is the rest of the shades. This is another single I got last year, and this is the Mountain Trail bundle I got for free last year. It came as a bunch of singles instead of being put into a palette. I really love this bundle. I've gotten a lot of uses out of it, and it really encouraged me to order from the sale this year. A lot of good mattes and greens and just different interesting tones of mattes, and the shimmers are really good too. So this is my whole Sydney Grace singles collection, and then I have the new palettes over here. Lots of different shade options. You'll notice, I don't have tons of blues, crazy colors going on. I'm pretty boring for the most part. But this palette, the Dreams palette, has more fun shades in there with the purples and golds. And then, I have a couple fun shades in here. The pink, the purple, a couple greens. Otherwise, pretty boring. I do have a red and some greens. So that is it for my collection. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the swatches I showed you. I have a lot of best sellers. If you see anything that you like that you want to see swatched, let me know. I could also do a look with those selected shadows. I don't think you necessarily need to wait for the Sydney Grace Christmas and July sale to buy from Sydney Grace. I think the shadows are inexpensive enough. You can really buy them at any time of the year. I believe they also have a Black Friday deal as well, so if you want to wait for that. But otherwise, if you don't need more eyeshadows and you are maxed out, and while having free shadows sounds great, if none of the palettes really appealed to you this year and you're not into getting mystery bags, then the free stuff doesn't really matter. I mean, they did have some discounts on single eyeshadows, so maybe, you know, those days make more sense for you. But otherwise, you're getting the most out of the sale by getting sort of free stuff. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't check out some shades that really interest you. If you see like 2 or 3 shades that really catch your eye, I would purchase them and wait and see if you like them. And then, you know, next year when the sale comes up, you can buy even more. But if you're just getting 2 or 3 shades, it doesn't really make sense to do the sale, because you're not, most days of the sale, you're not going to get a lot out of it. You have to really do the minimum spend to make things worth it. But I think it's a good company. I think they do have mixed reviews, but you know, I think these colors, these shades, this formula is definitely workable. Is every shade going to be perfect? No, but I just love their color variety. Not a lot of brands can pull off making this many colors, so just give a nod to Sydney Grace for that. Alright guys, please let me know if you have any questions, comment below, click like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.